Question 21 asks students to describe the role social justice principles play in identifying priority health issues. So things to look at here is, of course, the key word being described. Also looking at social justice principles being another key area of the question, as well as the marks being 5 marks. You would notice here that there are a number of lines that need to be filled in. So again, from a marking point of view, students need to make sure they first of all have filled in all the lines that are required. What we've got here is an example of just a general answer. It just shows a general response. Okay, hasn't really identified or really looked at social justice principles and been able to relate them to the priority areas and why that's important. Hasn't really included a number of suitable examples to go with it. So hence a very general answer, which hasn't been able to satisfy the requirements of the marking. Also notice too, some lines missing down the bottom. Lack of knowledge again. Now show you a better response. Okay, first things we notice is that all the lines have been filled in and completed. The beauty of this answer is that it does relate social justice principles, looks at identifying some priority areas, gives a number of examples such as closing the gap when talking about Aboriginals and Torres Strait Islanders, which have been identified, emphasising the importance of social justice principles. So this is a very, very good answer. I wouldn't mind seeing a bit more some more underlining here of some key points, social justice principles. You'll also see that some other things such as examples written here could also be underlined, so it can stand out a little bit more. The general feedback from the whole question, from the marking, was that most students were able to outline the role of social justice and its importance in identifying priority issues. Example, ensuring that people aren't disadvantaged. However, these responses were very general and lacked a clear understanding of social justice principles and the role they play in identifying priority areas, which is exactly what the question asked you to do. The better responses were able to support this with superior and relevant examples, such as the one that was given here on closing the gap for the Aboriginals, and link this to the way that social justice enables identification of current health priorities. An example, this could be through equity, fair allocation of resources across all areas of health and population groups. The government allocating more money for funding because of the inequities that existed. And again, that would come back to the Aboriginals, the closing the gap. Health priority issues are identified as a result. Example, cardiovascular disease is a health priority issue due to health inequalities of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. They're more the examples that were needed. So this was a 5-mark question, pretty straightforward from the syllabus. Students need to perform a bit better on this question.